for the starters for today's game. D'Angelo Russell will come off the bench for Minnesota. It's have used more as Claxton wins the tip, and this game is underway. Harris thought about the three and then had it knocked away. Here comes Rubio after the steal. In the corner, McDaniels can't hit the three, and Jeff Green the rebound for Brooklyn.
A thing to be aware of, Minnesota bottom 5 in offense and defense, but where they can take advantage is creating extra opportunities through steals and turnovers.
10th in the league in defensive turnover percentage, which, yes, a far different ranking than where they are in other defensive categories. Chiozza with the shot clock down to 3, had to put it up, couldn't finish. Claxton got a hand on it, but Okogie comes away with it for Minnesota.
And Minnesota will look to push. They want to play up tempo. They get into their offense early.
Minnesota 4th in the league in pace. They have the worst record in the NBA at 14-40 overall. That three, no good for Edwards, and Durant the rebound. Steve Nash talked about how because this is now a back-to-back, Durant's availability for tomorrow certainly in question, something the Nets won't decide until after seeing what happens here in Minnesota as Harris hits the three and the Nets on the
point line against the Lakers. But you already see it. You could work your switches and pick your matchups that you want against this Minnesota team in order to exploit them.
That three is good. 8th pick of this past year's draft out of Washington. Nice look inside, and Chiozza finding Harris.
Being down ball handlers, including James Harden and Kyrie Irving, how much that changes the dynamic of how this team plays. You know that Chiozza can...
This game without Harden, without Irving, without Tyler Johnson, as Durant hits the three with McDaniels.
Fill it up.
That's right. Chiozza and Shamet, you would think, would get some of the point guard responsibilities in this game as well.
Multiple players that can initiate offense.
Naz Reid had it deflected, lands in the lap of Rubio, who is able to fit. Chiozza down the floor to Claxton, who was running, couldn't finish, rejected by Reid. Rubio a three, rims off. Averaging over a block per game this season for Minnesota, came up with a big one there, denying the dunk from Claxton as Harris can't connect.
And while Minnesota isn't very good on the defensive end, they've got size, they've got length, they have players that will bring energy.
It's an air ball from Ed. Durant trying to shake free. Shooing away Chiozza so he could get the one-on-one matchup with McDaniels. Durant elevating and hitting.
We know that he can shoot and score over anyone, but you see the ease in which as soon as he's getting a single coverage, he gets to work.
Okogie hits the three from the corner. Not his game.
So you don't see it that often. And since Okogie's come into the league, he's worked to extend his range, still not has done so in a consistent manner at all.
24% from three this season for Okogie as Harris draws the foul.
With the Achilles and now coming back, so much of the fluidity of his offense with not getting game action and working off the rust is something that you know will happen.
Had 8 turnovers against the Lakers on Saturday. Here's Durant out of the double. Chiozza didn't take. Durant now will. And hit from three. Kept from the floor. 8 points already for Durant.
And nice working off of Chiozza, the give-and-go game when he was catching the double team.
Here's the first pick of the draft. Anthony Edwards unable to hit. Green secures it for Brooklyn. Harris to the corner. Chiozza, sort of a difficult step back. And Edwards the rebound. Probably not the shot Chiozza would take if given the possession again. And a foul here is going to go.
Ability to rebound and defend is the first thing you're looking for, and he has brought that to the table.
Speaking of defending, Durant comes up with a steal, leads Chiozza, who lays it in.
Minnesota likes to run, but you can also run on them. And we know that the Nets thrive when they get looks in the open court and in transition.
Naz Reid, good D there from Claxton. Chiozza getting it to Durant, who had scored the last 8 Nets points before that Chiozza layup. Chiozza putting it on the floor, getting inside, was denied and controlled by Minnesota.
We've seen this a couple possessions for Chiozza, especially now with this group. You want to see him look to facilitate just a little bit more and maybe not be quite so assertive and looking for his own shot.
Another turnover here from Minnesota. Green gets it into the arms of Durant. 3 for 3 from the floor in this first quarter as Durant nearly turned it over, but McDaniels touched it last.
Quick advancement by Kevin Durant. What he does offensively, so many things he brings defensively.
Harris trying to wedge it in and got fouled. Joe Harris loses the headband.
I think it was ball until I was about 2, but then after.
And a whistle here against Luwawu Cabarro. A lot of guys opportunities to try and prove that they should be a part of this rotation when the pieces are healthy, and it's given Steve Nash a lot of different looks at different lineups as Brown finishes plus the
so often throughout the course of rotations and lineups, considering who's available and who's in and out. This team's done an excellent job just because they all have the same common goal.
A 10-0 Brooklyn to the game off the bench for the Timberwolves. Nice start to this game for Brooklyn after the disappointing performance on Saturday as TLC just tossed it right to Rubio. You need to win on a nightly basis in the NBA. They have come out with that thus far here in this game against Minnesota as Reid in the corner misses the 3 and Green the rebound for Brooklyn. Green trying to go behind the back, nearly lost it, got it back. Green.
Naz Reid. Oh, he wanted a poster on this one, but gets it to the way this whole group has functioned throughout the course of this season.
So DeAndre Jordan into the game here for Brooklyn. After 5 straight DNPs for Jordan, he gets it. Blake Griffin not into the game before Jordan as Shamet hits the jumper. Nice little dribble move to free up Shamet. And you wonder, maybe we will still see Blake in this game, Sarah, but with there being a back-to-back now, playing Philadelphia, game tomorrow, that will have serious implications, perhaps, when it comes to first place in the East, as Russell.
He said it changes everything, because I know we weren't trying to play a handful of these guys in back-to-back, so how it is altered, we'll continue to watch and see, and of course with LaMarcus Aldridge not being available with the big man rotation, what that does change.
Anthony Edwards able to finish around Jordan. Edwards